Coming up on 5 Minute News. CDC issues new eviction ban for most of US through October 3rd. Belarus sprinter says punishment awaited her back home. And judge blocks Texas troopers from stopping migrant transports. It's Wednesday, August 4. I'm Anthony Davis. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention issued a new eviction moratorium that would last until October 3rd, as the Biden administration sought to quell intensifying criticism that it was allowing vulnerable renters to lose their homes during a pandemic. The ban, announced on Tuesday, could help keep millions in their homes as the coronavirus's Delta variant has spread and states have been slow to release federal rental aid. It would temporarily halt evictions in counties with substantial and high levels of virus transmissions and would cover areas where 90% of the population lives. The announcement was a reversal for the Biden administration, which allowed an earlier moratorium to lapse over the weekend after saying a Supreme Court ruling prevented an extension. That ripped open a dramatic split between the White House and progressive Democrats, who insisted the administration do more to prevent some 3.6 million Americans from losing their homes during the COVID-19 crisis. Speaking at the White House on Tuesday, Biden said he pushed the CDC to again consider its options, but he still seemed hesitant as to whether the new moratorium could withstand lawsuits about its constitutionality, saying he has sought the opinions of experts as to whether the Supreme Court would approve the measure. The president added that the moratorium, even if it gets challenged in court, will probably give some additional time for states and cities to release billions of dollars in federal relief to renters. Top Democratic leaders joined Representative Cori Bush, who's been camped outside the U.S. Capitol for several days. The freshman congresswoman once lived in her car as a young mother and pointed to that experience to urge the White House to prevent widespread evictions. A Belarusian Olympic sprinter who had a public feud with officials from her team at the Tokyo Games said on Tuesday that they made it clear she would face punishment if she returned home to an autocratic government that has relentlessly stifled any criticism. Waiting to leave Japan to seek refuge in Europe, Kristina Simonouskaya said she hopes she can continue her career, but for now her safety is the priority. After she criticized the management of her team on social media, she accused officials of hustling her to the airport and trying to put her on a plane back to Belarus. In the dramatic standoff, several countries offered help, and Poland granted her a humanitarian visa on Monday. She planned to fly to Warsaw and was seen in Tokyo on Wednesday morning entering Narita International Airport surrounded by an entourage. Team officials made it clear that upon return home, I would definitely face some sort of punishment, the 24-year-old sprinter said in an interview from Tokyo. There were also thinly disguised hints that more would await me. She added that she believes she would be kicked off the national team. She hopes to be able to continue running once she has reached safety. Asked what made her fear she would be in danger at home, Simonouskaya said that the key phrase was that we didn't make the decision for you to go home, it was decided by other people, and we were merely ordered to make it happen. Earlier, Belarus's National Olympic Committee told a state-run news agency that it was closely monitoring the situation and cooperating with the International Olympic Committee. A federal judge on Tuesday blocked Texas from allowing state troopers to stop vehicles carrying migrants on the grounds that they may spread COVID-19, as worries and new cases are rising along the U.S.-Mexico border. The temporary order by U.S. District Judge Kathleen Cardone of El Paso is at least a short-term victory for the Biden administration, which had warned that Republican Governor Greg Abbott's plan would create more problems amid high levels of summer border crossings in Texas, particularly in the Rio Grande Valley, which one U.S. official called the epicenter of the current surge. In a sign of the growing strain, local officials there who have rebuffed Abbott's hardline immigration actions to jail border crossers and build a new barrier declared a local state of disaster this week as COVID-19 cases climb and capacity at migrant shelters is stretched. Cardone said Abbott's directive would have had the effect of exacerbating the spread of COVID-19. She scheduled another hearing for next week. Critics have accused Abbott, who is up for a third term in 2022, of trying to deflect blame for Texas's rapidly surging COVID-19 numbers on migrants, as he rejects calls to reinstate mask mandates and other pandemic restrictions. On Tuesday, Texas surpassed 7,000 hospitalized virus patients for the first time since February and reported more than 11,000 new cases. Abbott last week had authorized Texas's growing presence of state troopers along the border to stop any vehicle upon reasonable suspicion that it transports migrants. Troopers could then reroute vehicles back to their point of origin or impound them. Civil rights groups and immigration advocates have expressed concerns that the directive to troopers could invite racial profiling. You can subscribe to 5 Minute News on YouTube with your preferred podcast app. Ask your smart speaker or enable 5 Minute News as your Amazon Alexa flash briefing skill. Subscribe, rate and review online at 5minute.news. 5 Minute News is an Evergreen Podcast covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering independent, unbiased and essential world news daily.